He was the last one standing. No one wanted him. The crowd at the auction turned away, whispering doubts and casting judgment. But little did they know, this moment would change everything for a young man and a horse no one believed in. Meet Jake, a 23-year-old who never expected this auction to change his life. He wasn't a millionaire looking to buy an expensive horse. He was just a young man with a dream to connect, to heal, to find something real. Jake wasn't drawn to the fancy pedigrees or the champions on display. He was drawn to something much deeper, a horse that had been cast aside. And what he saw in those sad, dark eyes, something inside him clicked. The screen fades in from black. The sound of wind rustling through tall grass fills the air. The camera pans across a vast, empty field, the sun setting in the distance, casting long shadows. A faint, distant whinny echoes, but there's no horse in sight. The tension builds as the music swells, a slow, haunting melody that pulls you in. Suddenly, the screen cuts to a young man, no older than 20, standing at the edge of a rickety wooden fence. His face is etched with frustration, his hands clenched into fists. Behind him, a group of people laugh and point, their voices muffled but mocking. The camera zooms in on his eyes. They're filled with defiance, but also something deeper, something raw. And then, the words flash across the screen. This horse was rejected by everyone, but it changed his life forever. The music stops. Silence. The screen cuts to black again, leaving you hanging, desperate to know more. When the screen lights up again, we're in a dusty, run-down stable. The young man, named Ethan, is pacing back and forth, his boots kicking up clouds of dirt. He's muttering to himself, clearly agitated. The camera shifts to a stall in the corner, where a horse stands, its head hanging low. This isn't just any horse. It's a scrawny, patchy-coated creature with scars running along its sides. Its eyes are dull, lifeless, as if it's given up on the world. Ethan stops pacing and stares at the horse. "You're just like me, aren't you?" he whispers, his voice cracking. The horse doesn't respond, but the camera lingers on its face, as if it's listening. The tension is palpable. What happens next will leave you breathless. Ethan's story begins to unfold. He's been an outcast his entire life, bullied at school, ignored at home, and constantly told he'd never amount to anything. He's tried everything to prove them wrong, but nothing ever works. Until one day, he stumbles upon an auction. The camera cuts to a chaotic scene. Men in cowboy hats shouting bids, horses being paraded around, and dust swirling everywhere. Ethan isn't there to buy anything. He's just curious. But then, the rejected horse is brought out. The auctioneer tries to hype it up, but no one wants it. "Too damaged," someone mutters. "Worthless," another scoffs. The camera zooms in on Ethan's face as he watches the horse being led away, its head hanging low. Something inside him snaps. Without thinking, he raises his hand. "I'll take it," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. The crowd erupts in laughter, but Ethan doesn't care. He's just made a decision that will change everything. The next few weeks are a blur of struggle and frustration. The horse, which Ethan names Phoenix, is stubborn and skittish. It refuses to let him near, kicking and rearing whenever he tries to approach. Ethan's hands are covered in bruises, his patience wearing thin. But he doesn't give up. Slowly, painstakingly, he begins to earn Phoenix's trust. The camera captures every moment. The first time Phoenix lets Ethan touch him. The first time he eats from Ethan's hand. The first time he allows Ethan to saddle him. It's a grueling process, but with each small victory, something inside Ethan begins to change. He's no longer the angry, defeated young man he was before. He's finding purpose, strength, and a sense of belonging he's never known. Then comes the turning point. Ethan hears about a local rodeo competition. It's a long shot, but he decides to enter Phoenix. The day of the competition arrives, and the tension is unbearable. The camera cuts between Ethan nervously preparing and the other competitors, all with sleek, powerful horses that make Phoenix look even more out of place. When it's their turn, the crowd falls silent. Ethan and Phoenix step into the arena, and for a moment, it seems like they're about to fail. Phoenix is nervous, his ears twitching, his steps hesitant. But then, Ethan leans down and whispers something in his ear. The camera zooms in on Phoenix's eyes. They're no longer dull. They're alive, burning with determination. And then they take off. What happens next is nothing short of miraculous. Phoenix moves like a completely different horse, his strides powerful and graceful. Ethan guides him with a confidence he's never shown before. They complete the course flawlessly, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. When they cross the finish line, the arena erupts in cheers. The camera captures every emotion on Ethan's face: disbelief, joy, pride. He's done the impossible. But more than that, he's proven everyone wrong. The horse no one wanted, the boy everyone dismissed. They've become unstoppable together. As the screen fades to black, the words appear once more. Sometimes, the most rejected ones have the most to give. The music swells, a triumphant melody that leaves you feeling inspired. But the story doesn't end there. The screen lights up one last time, showing Ethan and Phoenix standing together in the sunset, their bond unbreakable. And then, the final words: "This is just the beginning." The screen goes dark, leaving you with a sense of awe and a story you'll never forget. The screen fades back in, but this time, the atmosphere is different. The tension has lifted, replaced by a sense of quiet triumph. Ethan and Phoenix are no longer the underdogs. They've become local legends. The camera follows them as they return home, the once skeptical townsfolk now watching with newfound respect. But Ethan knows this is just the beginning. The rodeo victory was a turning point, but it wasn't the end of their journey. It was the spark that ignited something much bigger. The next few months are a whirlwind of change. Ethan and Phoenix start training harder than ever, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. The camera captures intimate moments: Ethan brushing Phoenix's coat, the horse nuzzling him in return, the two of them running through fields at dawn, the world still asleep. But it's not all smooth sailing. There are setbacks, moments of doubt, and challenges that test their resolve. One particularly harrowing scene shows Phoenix spooking during a training session, throwing Ethan off, and bolting into the woods. The camera follows Ethan as he searches for hours, calling out Phoenix's name, his voice growing hoarse. When he finally finds him, the horse is trembling, his eyes wide with fear. Ethan doesn't yell or get frustrated. Instead, he sits down in the dirt, his back against a tree, and waits. Slowly, cautiously, Phoenix approaches, his trust in Ethan stronger than his fear. It's a powerful moment, a reminder that their bond isn't just about training. It's about understanding, patience, and unconditional support. As their reputation grows, so do the opportunities. Ethan is invited to compete in larger rodeos, events that draw crowds from across the country. The stakes are higher, the competition fiercer, but Ethan and Phoenix are ready. The camera captures their first major competition, a sprawling arena filled with thousands of spectators. The other riders are seasoned professionals, their horses sleek and perfectly groomed. Ethan and Phoenix, by contrast, still carry the scars of their past, both literal and figurative. But as they step into the arena, the crowd falls silent. There's something about them, something magnetic. When the starting bell rings, they explode into action, moving as one. The camera slows down, capturing every detail. The way Phoenix's muscles ripple as he gallops, the determination in Ethan's eyes, the way they seem to communicate without words. They don't win first place, but they come close, and the crowd goes wild. For Ethan, it's not about the trophy. It's about proving that he and Phoenix belong. But with success comes new challenges. The camera shifts to a scene of Ethan sitting at a small kitchen table, bills spread out in front of him. Training and traveling to competitions is expensive, and money is tight. His parents, who once doubted him, now support him, but they can't afford to fund his dreams. The camera lingers on Ethan's face as he stares at the bills, his jaw clenched. He's come so far, but the road ahead is still uncertain. Just when it seems like he might have to give up, an unexpected opportunity arises. A local businessman, impressed by Ethan and Phoenix's story, offers to sponsor them. The camera captures the moment Ethan receives the news. his face lighting up with disbelief and gratitude. It's a turning point, one that allows him to focus on what really matters, his partnership with Phoenix. As the months go by, Ethan and Phoenix continue to rise through the ranks. They compete in bigger and bigger events, their performances becoming more polished, more breathtaking. The camera captures their growing confidence, the way they seem to feed off each other's energy. But it's not just about the competitions. The camera also shows the quieter moments. Ethan visiting schools to talk to kids about perseverance, Phoenix nuzzling a young girl in a wheelchair, the two of them inspiring others with their story. They've become more than just a rider and his horse. They've become symbols of hope, proof that even the most rejected can rise above their circumstances. Then comes the biggest challenge of all, the National Rodeo Finals. It's the event Ethan has been dreaming of, the pinnacle of his journey. The camera captures the build-up, the long drive to the venue, the tension in the air, the way Ethan's hands tremble as he prepares Phoenix. The competition is fierce, the pressure overwhelming. But when Ethan and Phoenix step into the arena, something incredible happens. The camera slows down, capturing every detail. The way Phoenix's hooves seem to barely touch the ground, the way Ethan's movements are fluid and precise, the way the crowd holds its breath. They perform flawlessly, their routine a perfect blend of power and grace. When they cross the finish line, the arena erupts in cheers. The camera zooms in on Ethan's face as he realizes what they've just accomplished. They've won. But the story doesn't end there. The camera follows Ethan and Phoenix as they return home, their lives forever changed. The once empty field where Ethan first found purpose is now a thriving training center, a place where he helps other rejected horses and struggling kids find their own second chances. The camera captures the joy on Ethan's face as he watches a young girl bond with a horse, her eyes lighting up with the same hope he once felt. It's a full-circle moment, a reminder that his journey was never just about him. It was about giving back, about creating a legacy. As the screen fades to black, the final words appear. Sometimes, the most rejected ones have the most to give. And sometimes, they change everything. The music swells, a triumphant melody that leaves you feeling inspired. But just when you think it's over, the screen lights up one last time. It's a montage of Ethan and Phoenix's journey, set to a hauntingly beautiful song. The final shot is of the two of them standing together in the sunset, their bond unbreakable, their future limitless. And then, the screen goes dark, leaving you with a story you'll never forget, a story of resilience, redemption, and the power of an unbreakable bond. The victory at the National Rodeo Finals wasn't just a personal triumph for Ethan. It was a seismic shift in his life. The camera pans over the sprawling ranch he now calls home, a place that once felt like a distant dream. The once dilapidated stable has been transformed into a state-of-the-art training facility, its doors open to horses and riders who, like Ethan and Phoenix, have been written off by the world. The screen cuts to Ethan standing at the edge of the property, his eyes scanning the horizon. He's no longer the angry, lost young man he once was. There's a quiet confidence in his demeanor, a sense of purpose that radiates from him. But as the camera zooms in, you can see a flicker of something else in his eyes, uncertainty. Winning the finals was just the beginning. Now, he has to figure out what comes next. The first challenge arrives in the form of a phone call. The camera shows Ethan pacing the kitchen, his phone pressed to his ear. On the other end is a representative from a prestigious equestrian academy, offering him a position as a trainer. It's an incredible opportunity, one that would take him and Phoenix to a world of elite riders and high-stakes competitions. But it would also mean leaving behind the ranch, the community, and the kids who look up to him. The camera lingers on Ethan's face as he hangs up the phone, his expression conflicted. He knows this decision will shape the rest of his life. Meanwhile, Phoenix is facing his own challenges. The camera shifts to the stable, where the horse is recovering from a minor injury sustained during their last competition. Ethan sits beside him, gently running a hand over Phoenix's leg. The bond between them is stronger than ever. But Ethan can't shake the fear that Phoenix's days in the arena might be numbered. The camera captures a quiet moment between them, Ethan whispering, "You've given me everything. I won't let you down." It's a promise that will be tested in the days to come. As Ethan wrestles with his decision, a new opportunity arises, one that could change everything. The camera cuts to a meeting with a group of investors, their faces serious as they lay out a proposal. They want to turn Ethan's ranch into a nonprofit organization, a place where at-risk youth and rescued horses can come together to heal and grow. The vision is ambitious, but it aligns perfectly with Ethan's values. The camera captures the intensity in his eyes as he listens, his mind racing with possibilities. This could be his chance to create something lasting, something that goes beyond competitions and trophies. But it would also mean taking on a huge responsibility, one that could push him to his limits. The decision weighs heavily on Ethan, and the camera follows him as he seeks advice from those closest to him. There's a heartfelt conversation with his parents, who remind him of how far he's come and encourage him to follow his heart. There's a poignant moment with a young girl named Lily, one of the kids who trains at the ranch. She looks up at him with wide eyes and says, "You're my hero, Ethan. You showed me that even the broken pieces can make something beautiful." Her words strike a chord, and Ethan realizes that his journey has never been just about him. It's about the lives he's touched along the way. In the end, Ethan makes his decision. The camera shows him standing in the middle of the ranch, the sun setting behind him as he announces his plans to the community. He's turning down the offer from the Equestrian Academy and committing to building the nonprofit. The crowd erupts in cheers, but the camera focuses on Ethan's face, capturing the mix of relief and determination in his eyes. He knows the road ahead won't be easy, but he's ready to face it. The next few months are a whirlwind of activity. The camera captures the transformation of the ranch, the once empty fields now bustling with life. There are scenes of Ethan working alongside volunteers, building new stables and training facilities. There are moments of triumph, like when a rescued horse takes its first steps after months of rehabilitation, and moments of heartbreak, like when a young rider struggles to overcome their fear. Through it all, Ethan is there, his presence a steadying force. But just as things seem to be falling into place, a new challenge arises. The camera cuts to a stormy night, the wind howling as rain lashes against the windows. Ethan is woken by a frantic knock on the door. One of the stables has been damaged, and several horses are trapped. The camera follows him as he races into the storm, his heart pounding as he works to free the animals. It's a harrowing scene, the tension palpable as Ethan risks his life to save them. When the sun rises the next morning, the damage is clear. The ranch is in shambles, and the cost of repairs is staggering. The camera lingers on Ethan's face as he surveys the wreckage, his resolve wavering for the first time in months. But even in the face of adversity, Ethan finds strength in the community he's built. The camera captures the outpouring of support, neighbors showing up with tools and supplies, kids organizing fundraisers, strangers donating money to help rebuild. It's a powerful reminder that Ethan's journey has never been a solo one. He's part of something bigger now, a network of people who believe in his vision and are willing to fight for it. As the ranch is rebuilt, Ethan and Phoenix prepare for their next big challenge, a charity event that will showcase the work they've been doing. The camera captures the excitement and nerves as the day approaches, the ranch buzzing with activity. When the event finally arrives, it's a resounding success. The camera pans over the crowd, capturing the smiles and tears as kids and horses take the stage. Their performance is a testament to the power of second chances. And when Ethan and Phoenix step into the arena, the crowd falls silent. Their routine is flawless, a perfect blend of power and grace that leaves everyone breathless. As they take their final bow, the camera zooms in on Ethan's face, capturing the pride and gratitude in his eyes. The screen fades to black, the words appearing once more. Sometimes, the most rejected ones have the most to give. And sometimes they change everything. The music swells, a triumphant melody that leaves you feeling inspired. But just when you think it's over, the screen lights up one last time. It's a montage of Ethan and Phoenix's journey, set to a hauntingly beautiful song. The final shot is of the two of them standing together in the sunset, their bond unbreakable, their future limitless. And then, the screen goes dark, leaving you with a story you'll never forget. a story of resilience, redemption, and the power of an unbreakable bond.